What's doing, guys? Back with a fresh vinyl video today, and today we're going to be talking about my top 5 Godzilla films. Yes, top 5. I don't normally do a top list on anything. I did my top favorite X Plus figures a while ago, but I was going to do this a top 10, but really, like, the top spots 6 through 10, they were all miscombobulated between different movies, and I couldn't think about which one should be placed where and whatnot. So the thought process here is what are my 5 go-to Godzilla films, from, in the favorite ones in the top 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, obviously. So, which ones will I gladly plop my ass on the couch and put on, that I can watch. Top 5, right? Top! Bam! So, first I will say my runners-up were Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, 1993 version, and Godzilla vs. Destroyer. Yes, 2 Heisei films. Why are those runners up? Because I enjoyed the emotional take that was going on with those films. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla was supposed to be the last Godzilla film. Akira Ifukube, he made a phenomenal soundtrack for that film, and I really thought the monster action was pretty good. Godzilla vs. Destroyer, obviously the death of Godzilla, being pushed throughout the whole marketing of the film and throughout the film itself, so that was another, big emotional attachment to me. I'll never forget watching that movie the first time back in 1995, it must have been, right after the movie came out, I got on a VHS bootleg. Yeah, I know, bootlegs, right? Like, we all haven't done it. And we bought it from a comic book shop in New Jersey where I bought my comic books from. Obviously, the comic book shop. And I got home and we watched through the movie on the couch. And at the end, I started crying like a little baby. My mom's laughing at me. Like, okay, so we all know the story. And don't act like you didn't cry. It was pretty sad, especially for a 15-year-old that I was. All right, so top 5. My fifth favorite Godzilla movie is Godzilla vs. Gigan. Why? Because it's Godzilla and Anguirus. They team up against Godzilla's biggest enemy, King Ghidorah, and with the help of, Gigan from Nebula Space Hunter M, Nebula M Space Hunter, however it's pronounced. Blah! That movie's awesome because it's got this crazy storyline, aliens, they're cockroaches, using human bodies as hosts. It's crazy, there's corn on the cob. I love corn on the cob. You cheeky pig. Kick me hard. I love that line. But that movie's awesome. It's so quotable. Yeah, the monster action's awesome. It's a non-stop tag team match. A lot of memorable moments. It's everything that a Godzilla movie needed to be in the early 70s, okay? So that movie's my top. It holds the 5th spot. Bam. It's awesome. I mean, Godzilla and Anguirus talk to each other, okay? So that's number 5. Number 4. It's the only film from the Millennium series that's on this list. And it was really an easy decision for me because I love the film. It's awesome. It's GMK. Giant Monsters All Out Attack, Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah. That movie, I will say, I've said this to numerous people when I've talked about this film. It feels like the only Showa film outside of the Showa era, okay? The storytelling, it's got that fantasy realm to it, the ancient monsters, the guardian beasts and everything, so it's really pushing that mystical aspect to a Godzilla film, something that we didn't have, until prior from the Showa films. Once the Showa films were over, all that mystical, spacey, weird stuff was over. Everything was kind of set in the real world. So GMK is awesome. Godzilla is a pure badass. He's evil. He's fighting the guardian beast, Paragon, Mothra, and King Ghidorah. It really should have been, with Shizuke, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, probably Kaneko. He wanted to do Baragon, Anguirus, and Varan. But Toho was like, no, we need to use the more popular monsters because they're more marketable. So we got Baragon, Mothra, and King Ghidorah to fight Godzilla. So it worked. I think it would have been really awesome to see Anguirus and Varan come back. Because they're all crawlers. That would have been really, really neat. It would have been a different aspect, something different. And I think that's what, the director was going for, but Toho has the final say. Anyway, the movie's brutal. It's awesome. Godzilla's evil. I said that already. The movie's a lot of fun. So GMK is number 4, okay? Number three, for nostalgia reasons, pure fun factor, for pure great storytelling, Son of Godzilla. Yes, Son of Godzilla holds the number 3 spot for me. I love that movie. That was the second Godzilla movie I saw. And it's you got to put your mind in the aspect of what you're watching. Don't try not to think, oh, it's hokey, it's this, Godzilla's ugly, that, the other, whatever. The movie is fun. It's focused around monster action. It's got your scientific team. They're on the Agasawara Island trying to do science experiments. They create Kamacuras because he was a little praying mantis, and then he got mutated and grew big. And that was, the 3 Kamacuras, breaking open Minya's egg. Tell me that's not memorable. All right, sure. He comes out of the egg, like, wah, 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 wah. All right, yeah, okay. Come on. It's Son of Godzilla, people. It's charmful. I love it. Kumonga's awesome. Big giant ass spider, Godzilla. All right. First, I'm gonna say yes. Godzilla's ugly, but I've always looked at him in that movie as if he had like this father-like, appearance to him. He kind of looks older. He looks tired. He's like, like Minya's like, now I gotta be a dad. I just want to go destroy cities. Now I gotta drag this lump around with me. But I love it. I love. He's teaching Minya. He's teaching him how to shoot his atomic breath. It's awesome, when they're by the lake of the red water and everything. It's great. And not for nothing, I think that the way when Godzilla shows up, it's probably my second favorite appearance of Godzilla when he comes into the movie. Awesome. Love it. So Son of Godzilla is number 3. Nostalgia reasons. The movie is charmful. It's fun. Start to finish. I love it. Okay, number 2. Ghidorah, the 3-headed monster. Really, 1964's second Godzilla film. I love this film. It was really hard to pick which was going to take the first spot, second spot, but Ghidorah, 3-headed monster, comes in at number 2. We got Godzilla and Rodan. They start off the monster action by fighting each other. If we were ever going to get Godzilla versus Rodan, that was the first version of it. The second was in 1993. But, Godzilla's appearance in that film was great. He shows up, blasts the crap out of that boat. Rodan's appearance was awesome, coming out of the mountain. Phenomenal. King Ghidorah, I love the whole story in that film. He's a space monster. He comes from outer space. This giant rock egg thingy, I can't think, cocoon, whatever you want to call it, it's glowing, it's electromagnetic, the science people are checking it, false alarm, it's a shooting star. I love that movie. Oh, it's awesome, start to finish. Mothra shows up, you got the twin fairies. I could sit here all day and talk about the film. So, Ghidorah, the 3-headed monster. The monster action's awesome. It's Ghidorah's first appearance, obviously. The movie, I love it. What is not to love about it? You got all these crazy subplots going on. You got monster subplots, human subplots, science, people doing science things subplots. It's awesome. And not for nothing, the assassin guy, he's a strong son of a bitch. You know why? Because he could catch a giant rock falling from the top of a mountain. He could catch it, but he still managed to fall. But he caught the rock, okay? Okay, all right. My number 1, my favorite. You guys should know this already. Because it's always, I mention it here and there, whatever. But my number 1, Fresh Vinyl says, my number 1 favorite Godzilla movie is Godzilla Final Wars. I love that Okay, sorry, we had a little freak out there. Phil freaked out. I was only kidding. Godzilla Final Wars is not my favorite Godzilla film. My favorite Godzilla film is Mothra versus Godzilla. Mothra versus Godzilla. Yes! This guy right here, Mothra versus Godzilla. The Mosu Goji, Godzilla 64 is my favorite, so that's obvious why we have Mothra vs. Godzilla #1 and Ghidorah, the Three-Headed Monster #2, both 1964 films, both with the Mosu Goji. I love it. The story is amazing in Mothra vs. Godzilla. You know, Mothra's giant egg, he appears out of the ocean. You know, well, it came off the mountain, floated, you know, because of hurricane, typhoon, whatever they call them over there. Went into the ocean, made landfall. Godzilla shows up, and the way Godzilla appears in this movie, whoo boy, the best appearance for Godzilla in my book. Okay, he comes out of the ground. We all know how it looks and how it plays out. A Fuka-based theme, cues right in. Godzilla's tail comes out. The human story again, and you know, you actually care about the characters in these films. You know, you're interested in what's going on. I love it. But, you know, the Mothra egg, it's, you know, people trying to buy it. You know, you got million yen, how many eggs, blah, 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 blah. Godzilla shows up, does his thing. He kind of looks like he's drunk a little bit in the beginning of the film. Like, he's just probably groggy. You know, he just needs a big cup of radioactivity. But, the fight between Mothra and Godzilla, it's really brutal, you know. They're both really, you know, they got this survival of the fittest, you know, eye of the tiger, you know, on who's going to win here. Mothra, obviously, she's not going to live, you know, she's dying, so she's on her last legs, trying to protect her egg, putting everything she has, you know, she starts using the poison yellow powder, and the Twin Fairies say, you know, that's her last line of defense, and, you know, it's got Godzilla pinned down pretty well. And, you know, Godzilla, he's just doing his thing. He's like, I'm here to, you know, mess stuff up. So, and then Mothra dies. You know, Godzilla blasts her pretty good with his atomic breath. You know, you guys know the story. The movie's awesome. I love it. Mothra vs. Godzilla is my #1 favorite Godzilla movie. And that's all I got. So, bam! Make sure you check out Fresh Vinyl HQ. Got questions, hit me up on the Facebook and whatever else, you know, to get in touch with me. And I'll see you on my next figure review. Thank you for watching. Hit me up in the comment section, people. And remember, buy vinyl, fresh vinyl! That's like Mr. Kennedy. Anyway.